Good morning, Uganda. It is time for us to take a look at our GMU agenda. With me in studio is a lovely lady, Barbara Duhawe. Did I pronounce that correct?
Yes,
indeed. Programming coordinator from Inspire Women Uganda. Today, we're talking women. One might say we've talked women for a very long time, but we will not stop talking about women. You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm glad you made time for us.
Oh.
I have a lot of questions for you.
Okay.
But real quick, tell us about Inspire Women Uganda. What is Inspire Women Uganda?
Oh, okay. Inspire Women Uganda is a women-oriented organization, which is we are looking at inspiring women and empowering young women in business and leadership. We noticed that in society there is a gap between the older women and the very young women, and the young woman is finding it a little bit difficult to cope up with the society and to move and to bring out the potential that is inside of them. So as Inspire Women Uganda, through research, we've realized that there is a gap that needs to be bridged between the young woman and then the business world, the leadership sector in Uganda. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I like that you've pointed on the gap between the older and the younger. But let us go to how long you've been in place. How long?
Okay. First of all, Inspire Women Uganda was founded by a very young, beautiful, very entrepreneur and ambitious lady who goes by the names Caro Ashaba, and it was started last year. And we've been in operation for, actually this month we are making 1 year of progressive success. And we are so grateful.
Indeed, very true. Now let us look at the transformation. When we talk women, I like that you mentioned gap, which we shall go into later on, because I know there's a challenge of younger girls trying to adjust to what the world does offer to the female sex. But real quick, the transformation, you know, now we cried in the beginning, we need to be free, we need to be empowered, we need to be out there. You know, let us look at the times and what it is now.
Okay, my take is I think that transformation is really, really evident. Yes, because I will take it from what we were, what the mindset was back then. Yes, when we were growing up, personally, I'll give an example of my dad. He used to tell me in his family the girls did not actually go to school. Yes, but his parents were always moving to see that the guys go to school, because the role of the woman was basically to take care of the home duties, nurture children, grow up, get married, and you get married at a very young age, which is maybe 14 to 15 years, you are getting married. And we see that today, 14 is a very young age for someone to get married. Yes, at 14, I think I was in, S3, S2, something like that. Yes, and I think the transformation is really good, because right now, what we're looking at is not just basically growing into life and nurturing. As much as this is our role, we are by nature mothers and nurturers of things, but we have a position in society where we can get to speak, where the power inside of us has not been I can say suppressed. Yes, so the platform is big. We're looking at big these places of power. Yes, we're looking at places of power where we have the number of women in parliament right now has increased over the years. Yeah, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Yeah, it gives the woman who is out there even more power to know that, oh, I actually have potential, I can do this, I can speak, we have a standing in society.
Okay, very interesting. Now we'll get into a couple of things that I've identified over the years. I know you're a working woman. There's some things you've seen still, regardless of what we talk about as women empowerment. But how do we see women play a role in improving our economy or contributing to our economy? Basically, and how best we can explain that, how women have indeed influenced a change.
Firstly, let me take it down to the household level.
Yes.
Back then, it was basically the man who was working. Yeah, the woman is to take care of the home duties. But right now, we thank God that things are changing in a way that right now we can have two people in a home, but they are both looking to grow the home, the finances and everything. We're having two working class people. So I believe that this has also contributed to the economy in such a way that taxpayers, we are paying pay as you earn. The tax is on everyone. Yes, so I believe that it has increased in the revenue of the country in such a way. And let's go on to the bigger aspect. We've seen women who have caused tremendous change. I'll begin with the very renowned one, Jennifer Musisi. She has done a very great job at putting a facelift to Kampala as a city and all. Yeah, and we are looking at the Speaker of Parliament. Yes, I love the aggressiveness. I love her ambition. I love what she stands for and all. And I believe that having such women in society have brought out even much more than we could have seen if they were not there.
We're seeing so many business women today, involving themselves from small and medium to bigger businesses, and I think that is one thing that the world wasn't prepared for, was it?
yeah.
Like you said, the founder of Inspire Women Uganda, really, probably someone growing up, someone did expect her as a woman to be able to achieve some of these things. But real quick, let us look at some of the issues that still need to be addressed. When we're talking women empowerment, you've seen it. Oftentimes, we've, if I could just, I don't know if you've experienced this as well as a woman. Sometimes women don't want to talk about this. Just the other day, I was in a training on women's safety.
Okay.
And you realize that as a woman, when you approach a possible client or partner, in terms of business or, working together, so many times some things go wrong. Let's address some of these challenges.
Okay. Okay. I didn't get your question.
Yes, I'm saying in rural and urban setting, women, yes, we're talking empowerment, but we still have challenges as women. That in society, because you're a woman, there are certain things that may not happen as you want them to. Let's look into those challenges. Okay,
first of all, I will speak what I think you are thinking. Yes, being a woman, of course, yes, there's a bit of femininity that comes with, yes, when you are meeting, they are going to, in society, we've been dubbed as the weaker sex. So when you are going, some of the things that are bound to happen, as I have seen today, people are going to take advantage of you. You come up with a big proposal, and I have seen young ladies who have all these ideas. They have ideas, they want to grow big, but we do not know how to get out there. And the fear is, I will be taken advantage of. And most of the ladies cannot stand up for themselves. They don't have the confidence enough to be able to say, no, this is what I want. This is what I have come here for. So I think some of those challenges need to be addressed in such a way that the older women or people who have gone through this, I believe that they have, I'm not so old myself, yes, so I believe that the women who have gone through this can help the younger ones, because there's something that I have grown to understand, that someone who has been there is like, we ought to learn from people who have been there, and this can help us to be able to not go through the problems that they have passed through, the challenges.
So they share the stories.
Exactly, they share the stories. They help us how they have gone through it. This is a point where the mentors come in. Yes, and yes, we're talking Inspire Women Uganda. Inspire Women is more of a place where we get to link and connect these two, where we get the mentors. Of course, we have partnerships with some really phenomenal women in the country. I'll talk of Dr. Maggie Chigozi, who is not only a medical doctor, but she's a wealth of knowledge in herself. Yeah, and these are the kind of people that we are looking to get, and get the younger woman who is inspiring to get into business, into entrepreneurship, to get them to have someone that they can look up to, someone that will advise them accordingly, someone that will help them take their hand and lead them to where they're supposed to be.
Okay. So we're in a society that is highly patriarchal in nature. You realize that so many things are going wrong. People are stuck up in traditions, or because she's a woman, she can't be in this position. Because she's a woman, she can't say this. She can't tell me to do this. She can't, and regardless of us talking about women empowerment, this is still a problem.
Yes.
This is still a problem. So how is Inspire Women Uganda helping to deal with this particular issue? Because these are the societies we're in regardless.
Yes. First of all, we as Inspire Women really want to commend what the government is doing in ensuring that the girl child can get to an equal level with the males. Yeah. And Inspire Women, amidst all others, we've come up with projects, one of them being conferences where we get people to build up their self-esteem. And yes, I get yes, you talked about it being a patriarchal society,
yes.
And all. Yes, the stereotypes are still there, but it's a mindset change. That is needed in the women, and this is what we are trying to do as Inspire Women Uganda. Because I believe that as a man is in the inside, in their heart, that is who they are going to portray. So changing the mindset of the female is going to help them know, I have potential, I can do this. There's so much on the inside of me that needs to be released. Yes, and this is what we're trying to do. Because I have come to learn that most of what we do here on earth, as we are living, as we are going about life, the fulfillment of life comes in from doing what is in your purpose and your work.
Indeed.
Yes, and I believe that that when taught to the younger women are able to stand up, it does, and beat all odds. Yes, the men can always be there, but I mean, we can do this. We are women.
Interesting, regardless of the challenges.
Yes,
that,
regardless
come
of
with
the
it. So you have trainings to help women understand that they have value. Now let us look at the issue of unemployment. We all know the ratio of men to women. It's, a bigger number of women, now bigger number of young women. We have an issue of unemployment. Oftentimes, especially even at level of literacy, we realize there is a challenge. We're still held back as much as we've pushed a number of women to get those opportunities. So how have you dealt with this issue, especially in regards to unemployment? Have you, as Inspire Women Uganda, come in and said, hey, let us work together, let us handle this issue of unemployment amongst women?
Okay, this is actually the basis of Inspire Women Uganda, because as I said at the start, there is a gap. Yes. Yeah, and I've noticed, and we have noticed that most of, I will talk on a personal basis, but I've noticed that most of the female organizations that are there to empower women and push for them to be something in society are basically looking at the disadvantaged woman who is already there. They're already in business. Maybe they're already doing something. They're in family, but they are struggling. And the gap is that the younger woman is not catered for, because we're looking at millions and thousands of these young girls graduating every day from campus, for example. Yeah, and the jobs seem to be constant. So as Inspire Women, we have said we are going to look at these young women. What do they have to offer? Do they have ideas that they can bring on? Because I believe that for someone to be successful, you have to deploy yourself. Yes, what exactly can you bring on board? Yes, it's we get knowledge and knowledge every other day. You're going to go to school and study, but what do you have? What is on the inside of you that you can bring out that can help us in society? And as Inspire Women, we have we are not building and starting business, but we are starting the businesses from a more grassroots level, whereby we are going to see them from birth. This is where I was saying that we are going to connect. We connect. We link them to mentorships, these networks that they need, people that are in high positions that are able to get them to get all the resources that they need. You get mentorship, finances, investment ideas. Some of these ladies, they know what to do, they know, but they cannot get someone to help them. So we as Inspire Women come in to actually do that for them.
Do that for them.
Yes.
So do you focus on rural or urban women?
Well, basically for now, it's the young woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Regardless of
whether you're rural or urban. Do you have something to offer? Yes, and also we have in one of our projects we have the women with disabilities.
Okay.
Yes, and some of them are passionate in business. Some of them are already in business. Some of them want to do something, but they don't know how do I go about this. Yes, so this is we come in also. We have such projects where we're going to help them to build themselves, and I believe with doing that, of course, more jobs are going to be created. Yeah.
Interesting. But also, now that you've hinted on the young woman, where are we seeing this huge gap between the older generation that has probably, over the years, picked onto a couple of these things, gone through the same challenges and struggles, probably had a harder time, you know, as women adjusting to what life is, you know. In the business world, in politics, in the social aspect of it, compared to the young girl. Why are we seeing this gap, though, between the older generation and the younger generation?
I believe the gap comes to there's this saying in Uganda: when you don't have connections, you're not anything. I mean, you don't have connections in places of power. If you're not connected, you don't have places of power. This is where we as Inspire Women now again we come in to bridge that gap, to connect them, because we know people who have made it, and we are looking out for. Again, in one of the projects, I'll keep referring to the projects because this is what we are doing. We have what we call the Inspire Go Challenge, where we are calling out for ideas and brilliant ideas. Do you have something that you can give to society? Yes, we get that idea, get you to pitch it to a panel of judges, and if you can best sell it to us, then we are able to connect you to wherever you want to go. So the gap is brought in a situation that there's people up there, and maybe it comes back even to the point of humanity. What do we have at heart? Who are we at heart?
Yes.
Are we looking at bettering only ourselves, but are we looking at also helping the person, the disadvantaged one who is not able to get
to be in the position you're in?
Exactly. Yeah. So I believe that's where the gap comes in.
Okay, very interesting. Now let us look at some of these projects you're talking about. How successful has this been for you, or is it, well, a bit difficult, especially if you're dealing with young people? We have so many challenges, unemployment, blah, blah, all of those things. How easy has it been for you as Inspire Women Uganda?
Well, I cannot say that the journey has all been good and beautiful. Of course, there are so many challenges because you get to their young women, you get them on their, they have this vibe, and before you know it, they are losing out. And I believe from experience, I believe that some of these come from getting all the noise inside, because as you were saying before, you asked about the norms and the traditions and cultures. It's still on the inside of us, which we have to break as young women. Yes, we get them on board, but stemming from the inside, someone does not believe in themselves, the confidence and all, which we are trying, of course, to break every other day, coming up with new ways on how we can get the woman very confident in herself, even past the noise. You cannot do this, you cannot do this. I'll give an example of myself. There's a certain project I wanted to take on, but the fact that you're listening to these people, you have grown up with them, they have nurtured you, they have grown you up, but then there's what can I call it?
They're a bit skeptical on whether you're able to achieve some of these things.
Yes, not whether I am able. I may be able, but what the society is like today. Our parents, most of them believe that if it's not career, I mean, you're going to be they've raised up in such a way that our lives are based on career
Either a lawyer or
oriented.
a doctor or
Exactly.
an engineer. Or, yeah.
Exactly. So when you say I want to do business, maybe we can see Uganda, more women are rising up in the makeup business, fashion and beauty. More makeup artists are coming up. But then this is not something you're going to tell to a man who has taken you to school maybe to study pharmacy. He expects you exactly to be, the next big doctor, the next big...
But little do they know that all of these business ventures that people are going into are the opportunities available at the time.
Exactly.
And great opportunities.
And great opportunities.
You've seen young women really blossom.
Yeah, I have. I have. And of course, it's still... I
mean, you're one of them because...
Oh, yes.
You took your time to be a part of a good cause and involve yourself. But very interesting, though. Society and how we are taken, and, we've seen it. Politicians, we're talking about women in politics, women in business, and, social standards altogether. And we're still asked one question. How are we able to balance being women in an aspect of mothers, or to not just mothers of having born a child, but mothers because of what we are as women, and also balancing with careers, with life choices, businesses. I think that's where the tricky bit comes in. As Inspire Women Uganda, have you addressed this issue? Because let's be honest, some women forget. We could become powerful women, and then you forget that as powerful as you are, there's certain things you can't let go of.
Yes, so as Inspire Women, we have, we believe that in each one of us, in each woman, is a superpower, and which, of course, we have maybe over the whatever has been going on over time, has been suppressed and all. And as Inspire Women, as I said, we are building a confidence in these young women, whereby you are going to go to your workplace. Maybe you're going to have a business, but the mentorship we give is in such a way that you're not going to forget your primary role as a nurturer, because if you forget that, there's no one that is going to do it for you, and that is how we are going to raise more people on the streets, more for lack of a better word, I would say hooligans, because if we are going to go all powerful and all, and we forget our primary role, which is nurturing and building and bringing and building up society, because they say educate a woman and you educate a nation. Yes, and I believe it's it's not the role of a man to raise up a child.
Yes.
It's the role of a woman. So we get in these talks and places and where we can talk to the leaders and let them know that yes, we are powerful. And one thing that I want to address is that we are not feminists. Yes, we just want to let the young woman know that you have potential. You can do this. Yes, amidst all controversy.
People always misunderstand. For every time you actually speak for a woman, then you're dubbed or tagged feminist, which is also not a bad thing. But clearly you have a goal to make sure that you close a gap between the older and younger generation of women and help them become better, whether it's economically, politically, or socially. But let's go back to how this is a possibility. It is a possibility, clearly. But to what extent do you see this happening as soon as?
As soon as possible. We believe with our ambition and what we stand for that it is a very possible thing. A business is not something, or a mindset is not something you will change in a day or
it's
hours. Or yes, it is a process. We grow into it. We grow into it. But I believe that in the next 5 years that we are going to be seeing more women who are coming up. And as Inspire Women, we have a goal to see that we bring up more skilled women who are able to give more to society than we are giving today. Yes, we have seen all these improvements and transformation, but we still believe that there's much more that can be done, which is beginning with mindset, changing this, bridging this gap. How can we do it? Yes, and that is what we are basically looking at doing.
So do you have moments where we say, okay, let's have this project? Yes, we're dealing with older women and the younger generation of women, but how about the girl child? Do you have projects that probably involve like trainings where you get some young girls and involve them, or you have projects where the women in general that you're dealing with, whether it's the older one or the younger generation, involve in businesses that are tended towards the girl child?
For now, that is more of a goal. We've not practically done that, but of course, when we're looking at the girl, at the young woman, we are looking at all these, even the younger ones, growing them to be. So it's a long-time goal also for us, but we want to first bridge this gap. Yeah, but after bridging this gap, we will advance. Now we can, yes, we can push for more.
Okay, so you're only in Kampala, or?
Well, we are situated in Kampala, but we call out for. Yeah, it is. We move out to different districts, to different schools, universities, and
and involve them.
Yes.
So, what does it take? This is a non-fund.
Yes.
Okay. So, how do you get to fund these projects? You have partners.
Yes, we do have partners. As I said, we are bridging the gap. So definitely we do have partners. We are a group of very, very ambitious young ladies and men, and we have moved to different people, asked them to partner with us and help us, because we believe that this is a good cause. So most of the people have been very receptive to us, and we are really glad that we are even getting to get on more partners every other day. Yeah.
Okay. So you talked about a conference?
Yes, I did.
Please give us those details.
Okay, so this Saturday, which is the 24th of November, 2018, we are going to be having a conference at Hotel Triangle, just on Buganda Road at 2 p.m. The conference has been dubbed Women in Business. Yes, and our theme this year is Understanding Finances for Better Investment. Yeah, and why finances? Because finances is a broad aspect of business. It's one of those parameters that we will use to know if is my business growing, is it going upwards, is it stagnant, and yes, and why. Yes, and we have so much in finance. We have the management, we have personal finance, corporate finance. So this conference is to basically, and finances also being a broad topic, is not something that we would tackle in hours, because the conference is slated to be between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Yeah, so you see, those are very few hours, but we want to open up the minds of these young ladies who are aspiring or they're in business, and to let them know about it, to let them know about the possibilities of getting financial help. Some of them are stuck in businesses. Some want financial help. Some want to know and understand. Yes, so, and why for better investment? Because you cannot go into something that you don't understand. Yeah, and one of our speakers, actually the guest speaker, is Dr. Maggie Chigozi. We all know her as a very phenomenal, prominent woman in the country, who is not only a medical doctor, but she's a business consultant. And from my research, she has been the ED of UIA, the Uganda Investment Authority, for some couple of years. So she's a great wealth of knowledge that we know needs to be passed on to these people. Yeah, and yes.
So entrepreneurship, some of the key things, because if we're looking business, some of the key things that of course you focused on as Inspire Women Uganda. But do you feel that focus on entrepreneurship in itself has helped or closed a gap in regards to women involving themselves in economic growth and contribution? Is this something that has indeed helped?
It is something that has, I will say that it has, but at a low level and still needs to be tapped in, because entrepreneurship is more of a subject that is talked about. It is taught in school. I mean, I have younger brothers who are still going to school, but then when you get them to do the practicability, now I'm giving you this business, they will give you on the theoretical bit that they have learnt in school. But I believe that as Uganda, we need to push it more, of make it practical. Let us involve young people in business. Come up with ventures where they can get the hands on, not just a topic and something to really sound big, but to actually do what it is. Yes. Because
oftentimes they talk, well, we need to head towards entrepreneurial skills, entrepreneurship, blah, blah, blah. And then you still see people struggling.
Exactly.
You know, at the end of the day. So I think what you've said is quite true. So you have trainings that involve this?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And partly of what we are going to be doing in the conference is that we have put up exhibition tables where anyone that wants to show forth what they are doing can come up. A table goes for 50,000 and shilling, just the booking. Yeah. You can bring.
So if you want to showcase your products, showcase what you have to show.
Whatever you have.
Just 50,000 Ugandan shillings.
Only 50,000 Ugandan shillings.
Okay. Yes. But that's for the exhibitor.
Exhibitor, yes.
Interesting. So this is a one-day.
Yes, it is a one-day
conference. Okay, from 2 to 5
p.m. Yes.
Interesting. So anyone can show up and turn up and be a part of this?
Yes, at just a minimum fee of 20,000 shillings, Ugandan shillings. Yes, anyone can show up and let's get a wealth of knowledge. And I believe that much more to even the knowledge and all, of course we're going to be equipped, we're going to come from there as a very determined ladies. I am very, very determined.
I can see.
Yes. But more to that, we are going to have to get people to connect with different people, because I said the guest speaker is Dr. Maggie Chigozi, who is a network in herself. There's this saying that your network is your net worth. Yes, we are going to have more to that. We're going to have other keynote speakers like Mr. Charles Ochichi of the Enterprise Uganda.
Yes.
Exactly. Miss Julian Athieno of the EcoPads. Joanita Kawalia, yes, of Afrigoban. So it's really a vast,
it's
exactly. So you can connect with anyone you want to, and I believe that after here, that so much is going to be implemented.
Good. So moving forward, what are your future plans as Inspire Women Uganda? If we're looking, not so far, things you expect to have achieved probably within a few 2-3 years to come, because now this year is ending.
Yeah.
So just things you're looking at to have achieved and gotten your hands on, really.
Well, for one, we believe that we're going to be having women, young ladies who we have brought up, and we can say that this is a product of Inspire Women Uganda. Yes, and we are looking also to have more people join us for this cause. Yes, and we want to have our name in like on the lips of people, whereby we are looking at entering into schools, into universities, to help them, to help these young women, so that we have an establishment, we have a grounded foundation where we know that this gap is bridged by something called Inspire Women Uganda. When you hear Inspire Women Uganda, you will know what we stand for. You will know this is the place where I can go to get to where I want to be.
Okay, interesting. Yes. But have the young women really? Do you see the interest? Do you see that they've jumped onto this opportunity quick?
Well, still pushing, just a few, but we are still pushing, because, as I said, there needs to be a mindset.
So the big problem is mindset.
Exactly. Yes, we we do not know what we are capable of doing, and we need someone to push us.
And we have
force.
people that keep telling us, "Oh, you can't do this.
Yes,
you can't do
this. You can't
Not
do this.
good enough for this.
Exactly. You can do better in office. You can do better as a banker. But not everyone is gifted in that way. Yes, I will be gifted in maybe something that I can have my hands on in arts and crafts, but I will go and undervalue myself as a tailor. I will be getting the money, but my potential is not fully grown.
You could be much better somewhere.
Yes, and I've realized that some of these things you're not going to see as a person. It takes a second person to actually analyze for you and get you to know you're actually good at this, you can do this, you can do this. Yes, which is what we are also doing. It's one of our goals moving forward.
One thing I've really admired about Inspire Women Uganda, as you've just told me, is that you're getting the older generation of women and having them as mentors for these young girls, which is a very rare thing. Very rare thing to see. And I keep telling people, even like in media or anywhere, you keep telling people, if you have greater experience, if you've been through certain things, you've seen the challenges, it's not bad to help, a younger person or someone that is starting out, because you know what, at the end of the day, it is us to lift ourselves up. No one is going to do it, because the men still feel like they are the alpha of all, I don't know what. So I'm not sounding, I'm not generalizing or stereotyping, but this is the reality. This is the reality. Final word as we wind up in regards to Inspire Women Uganda, and also a message to the women out there. Two of those messages.
Okay, Inspire Women Uganda, I can say we are here to stay, and we are here to make the woman better, and to have our country go to a whole other level by the woman. We believe that the woman has so much potential that she can do, and we believe that as Inspire Women, we're going to make this happen. A message to the women out there: let us believe in ourselves. Yes, we have so much on the inside of us. We have so much that we can do. We have so much potential on the inside of us. Let us deploy ourselves. Give yourself that thought. Give yourself that chance to deploy yourself, to make others take of that gift that you are to this nation, and we shall see a better Uganda. Yes. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, wow. But thank you so much. I think this is very, very good cause, very good initiative. Good luck on the conference.
Thank you so much.
I do hope the turnout is great. I do hope people pick something.
I do hope you turn up.
I really have to, because I know my producer is going to tell me, mark your calendar. But thank you so much. We've been talking to Barbara Duhawe, who is the programming coordinator from Inspire Women Uganda. Now what they're doing is connecting the older generation of women and the younger generation. Also looking at the aspect or bigger picture of women, and empowering them and helping them understand their potentials and what they can offer, and also address some of their challenges. Don't go away, still watching Good Morning Uganda. Thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you so much.